And welcome into the Mizzou basketball game post-game show right here on STL Sports Central. I'm Grant Salzman. She's Ashley Wright, and we're brought to you by Home Bank. And the Missouri Tigers remain undefeated at home and improved to 3-1 in SEC play. They defeated Auburn 84-74 in Columbia, Missouri. Ashley, first thoughts about another big SEC victory for the Tigers.
Yeah, initially when the Tigers started 1-4-11, I was a little scared of how this game would go, but love to see how the Tigers were able to turn it around. It was a great job by Mark Mitchell. He knew once the defense was collapsing that he could kick it out, and what a great job by the supporting cast really knocking down those shots.
And I think too, if you would have told us after we did our post game show after that Illinois throttling that Missouri's 3-1 in SEC play and just defeated Auburn, I think every single Missouri fan, one, would not believe you, and two, take that immediately.
Yeah, remember, Grant, we were contemplating whether or not we would see another 0-18 SEC play season. And it's nice to know that we're not going to see that this year. And I'm excited about how scary this Mizzou team can be. And so it's been nice to see the turnaround since we last spoke after that Illinois abysmal display.
Yeah, and since then, they dropped a frustrating one on the road against Ole Miss, but they've looked really good. First win over Auburn since 2020. Solid resume booster for MIZ. I agree. Mike Hat Piper chiming in there. And this was the first time Dennis Gates has ever beaten Auburn, and it was kind of a game coming into it. I thought first to 80 wins, and Mizzou was the only one to get to 80. Of course, we need to talk about the really career night from Trent Pierce. This is the Trent Pierce Missouri was hoping they would get from injury. He's been steadily improving. Last year kind of was a role player. This year is expected to take a big step, a big role, and that's what he's done since injury. 18 points, 6 for 8 from the field, 5 for 7 from 3, made a free throw. I mean, he scored, I think, at 1 point 12 straight for Mizzou, right around that. He had the and one and 3 straight threes. So big night for Trent Pierce and exactly what Mizzou needs.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, Auburn, obviously the game plan was to protect the paint. And so once they began doing that, Mark Mitchell was able to kick that ball out. And it was Pierce that was knocking it down, forcing Auburn to really respect that shot, right? And then to go with those 5 threes, how about 3 assists? So not only is he impacting the game from beyond the arc, but also able to dish the ball too.
Yeah, able to dish the ball as well. And Mark Mitchell, as you said, saw the game plan. He ends with 5 assists. It seemed like Auburn was going to make sure anybody but him beat them. Well, he ended with 20 points as well. So he was able to get his. Another guy who we talked about the Illinois game was out, was Jaden Stone. He started a pedestrian first 10 minutes, didn't score, ends with 22, leads all Missouri scores once again, made 2 threes, 6 free throws, 6 boards, 3 assists. Jaden Stone's been unbelievable for Missouri since returning from injury.
Yeah, and I think that 6 for 6 from the line just shows how aggressive that he's been as well. So not only do you have Mark Mitchell down there, but also Jaden Stone, the way that he was able to get some points in the paint too. Another player that was in double figures, 22 points tonight. That's major.
Yeah, major from Stone. Now, let's talk as we're giving Missouri their flowers. Let's talk a little bit about some of the negatives. What you see those last really 3 minutes when things got too dicey, a little too close for comfort. Missouri, and in particular Anthony Robinson, really had a little bit of an issue bringing the ball up the court.
Yeah, once Auburn elected to go into that press, you can kind of tell that the Tigers in Missouri were a little bit antsy getting the ball up the floor. I think they forced 3 turnovers for Missouri to in that game. Yeah, yeah, exactly. 3 in a row. And so Mizzou is definitely going to have to tighten that up. But I love how they were able to respond toward the end of the game, getting an and one there by Jaden Stone and extending that 4-point lead after the 3-point play to 7 points.
Yeah, Stone scores there. He gets another bucket on a fast break, then gets fouled, gets 2 free throws. They were able to steady it out, and good coaching by Dennis Gates as well. He challenges, even though he probably thought chances of winning the challenge were slim, kind of used it as a timeout, got Anthony Robinson out of there. T.O. Barrett brought the ball up the court, and Missouri able to close this one out. Want to tell you a little bit about Home Bank, though, as we take a quick pause here. Home Bank. This post-game show is brought to you by our business partners at Home Bank. From business lending to everyday banking, Home Bank has been with us since day one as a trusted partner. Business isn't just about numbers, it's about relationships. And with Home Bank, those relationships make all the difference. Home Bank is the team behind our team at STL Sports Central. Visit myhomebank.bank or call 855-577-2001. Home Bank, member FDIC. More than a bank, they are your business partner. And that brings us to our Home Bank money moment of the game, brought to you by Home Bank, the team behind our team at STL Sports Central. So, Ashley, what would you say your Home Bank money moment of the game is in this one?
Definitely has to be the play that we touched on briefly. Jaden Stone getting that and one out of the press break as well with about a minute and a half left. What was a 4-point lead, he was able to extend to 7 points after the 3-point play.
I will go with the spurt, maybe not one play, but the spurt that Trent Pierce had. And if I had to, Mizzou teetering in the first half, those first 10 minutes, they didn't look very crisp or clean at all. They get the and one from Trent Pierce, and then all of a sudden, next possession, a three. A couple possessions later, a three, and Missouri takes a lead and never relinquishes it. So I'll give Trent Pierce my money moment of the game in this one. What'd you make of Sean Phillips Jr. today? Another game where it felt like his presence was more than actually it looks on the stat sheet. 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks, 4 personal fouls. I think Mizzou, Phillips has been playing a little bit better. I think the final piece of this puzzle is getting Sean Phillips to play, kind of be the double machine we saw at the end of last season with Arizona State.
Yeah, I definitely agree. He obviously has the capabilities of doing that. But tonight, just the foul trouble is what really riddled him. So I think getting him involved early would be a lot better, but he was just having trouble really rotating in that defense against this Auburn team.
Yeah, had trouble rotating, and he just hasn't been quite what Mizzou needs offensively. Another guy that has put back-to-back kind of lackluster games together is Anthony Robinson II. He has 5 points, 1 for 4 shooting, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. He's a guy that I thought would really need to show up today for Mizzou to win this one. They were able to handle it, but we've seen him struggle at Ole Miss. Now he struggles today. What have you seen from Ant that he maybe what does he need to do to kind of turn the corner and be back to the Anthony Robinson that we've seen against like Kentucky?
Yeah, he can't be rattled. He needs to just slow the game down. It looks like that he hasn't been able to catch a rhythm the last couple of games. And we really saw Anthony Robinson at his best when he was able to kind of dictate the pace in that offense. So I think that's exactly what he needs to get back to moving forward.
And how big, I mean, I know we've already touched on it, but how big has Jaden Stone been as that guard when maybe T.O. Barrett's not playing well, maybe Anthony Robinson has a game like this? This is what Mizzou was missing. This is what in that offseason they were missing, a guy like Jaden Stone to kind of be the glue in the offense that the Tigers needed.
Yeah, it's nice to have that added physicality you can rely on when teams are so focused on Mark Mitchell. And that's exactly what happened tonight. That Auburn was so focused on Mark Mitchell that it allowed Jaden Stone to really get involved and lead the team in scoring tonight. I mean, just exactly what he was able to do. Patrol the paint, really get physical, use his muscle, get some 3-point plays, and convert at the line.
And I'd be remiss not to mention T.O. Barrett, while he had 4 turnovers, an effective 13 points, 4 for 5 from the field, made 5 for 6 from the free throw line. A nice night from T.O. Barrett, one of his best in black and gold.
Yeah, 3 rebounds too, and he was also dishing the ball, 3 assists. I think one thing that really helped Missouri tonight was looking and making those extra passes. Great ball movement, forcing Auburn to be out of rotation, and they really got a lot of easy looks tonight.
Babe Ruth 921. How big is Stone? At least 8 inches, 8 feet, and we need every bit of it tonight. A real score. I don't know. I don't know what the comment is there. Samuel, how that is the SEC. It's all about getting road victories. You're expected to win at home. Very true, Samuel Howell. Missouri has won now, I believe, 2 losses in the last 2 years at home. You win the home games, that's 9 wins right there. You find 2 or 3 more, and you're a tournament team, a lock for the tournament. So far, Mizzou 3-1 has that road win. And Ashley, they have some opportunities coming up for some road wins as well.
Yeah, Missouri does. Like we were saying, if Missouri can continue playing the way that they did tonight and maybe get Sean Robinson involved or Anthony Robinson involved, I think this team is in really good shape moving forward in the SEC.
Ole Miss just won at Georgia in overtime, makes that loss look a tad better. Yeah, I think that's the thing with the SEC is anyone can beat anyone on any night. I mean, Georgia will go down as probably a tournament team. Ole Miss will not be, most likely. Unless they keep playing like this, they could get in. But you can't take anything for granted. That Ole Miss loss won't be bad. That'll be a quad 1 loss since Ole Miss is top 100 and it's on the road. But it's still a game you're hoping to win. Now, I mentioned kind of Missouri's schedule, and this was what I would call the beginning of a gettable schedule. Now you're at LSU, who just lost a really, really tough game on a Christian Laettner-esque pass.
Yeah.
Grant Hill to Laettner, except this time it was for Kentucky, not against Kentucky. They defeated LSU. Missouri goes at LSU. Then they're home against Georgia, home against Oklahoma. And then you play at Alabama, which is a really, really tough test. But then you're home against Mississippi State and you're at South Carolina, probably the 2 worst teams in the SEC. So very, very gettable. And with the way that Mizzou's playing, if you just keep stacking 2-1s, 1-1s, you're going to be in the NCAA tournament.
And honestly, it feels like this year's schedule favors Mizzou. All the resume builders are home games for Mizzou.
Yes.
So I totally think that they'll be in a good spot come March.
And I agree. It felt like last year there was a lot of games that we'd probably win this on the road or at home. And not that there was many easy games in the SEC. This year it feels like all of our toughest games are at home and our quote-unquote easier games are on the road for the most part. So a lot of gettable road opportunities, I think, for Missouri. And as we close out on this Auburn game, Missouri's still iffy from the free throw line. It was better today. They missed 10 free throws once again. They shot 68%, though, better than the 12 for 22 or 14 for 24 they shot at Ole Miss. But I wouldn't call it as much as an issue in this one as it was against the Rebels.
Yeah, what was it tonight? 17 of 27, I think, tonight?
It was 21 for 31.
21 for 31. Okay. Well, the bright side is you're getting 31 free throw attempts. That is excellent. That's physicality. That's bullying your way to the hoop. It's just you have to convert those free throws. Oh my goodness, 31 attempts is insane.
Yeah, 31 attempts. They find a way to get to the line. Maybe helped a little bit by some home referees in some, but a guy that, if you're looking at this, it's okay. Anthony Robinson, 2 for 2. Jacob Cruz, 1 for 2. Jaden Stone, 6 for 6. T.O. Barrett, 5 for 6. Trent Pierce, 1 for 1. Mark Mitchell, 6 for 14. So 8 of the 10 misses came from one guy. Mitchell was shooting entering the game 69%, shoots below 50. So I said on a show earlier today, if Mitchell can be a 70% free throw shooter, that would be unbelievable for Mizzou. If he could even tick that to 72. But it's hard to, we missed 10 free throws. Well, 8 of those were from one player. You kind of have to look at the perspective there.
Yeah, you do. It's a team sport at the end of the day. But I mean, 10 extra free throws, you win this game by 20 points. And that's like undeniable on Selection Sunday, right? So that's definitely a part of Mizzou's game that they're going to have to tighten up.
Talk a little bit more about this one, but first I want to tell you about DraftKings, and they got a cool promo going on for the playoffs. They have your back with early exit protection. If the player in your eligible NFL prop bet goes down at any point in the first half, you still get paid in cash. So if you're betting on Puka Nacua this weekend, Josh Allen, Bo Nix, any of those guys. If they go down in the first half, you will still get your bet paid back in cash. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code STL Sports. That's code STL Sports. Turn $5 into 300 in bonus bets if you win in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or call ccbg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois, 21 plus in most states, void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, call dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
So I want to touch just one more time on this returning duo of Trent Pierce and Jaden Stone. They combine for 40. So it's been 4 games now with them both playing. How much of a difference have you seen from them? What's Mizzou been able to do now that those two are playing?
Well, obviously with Pierce, you have the threat of an outside scorer. So that forces defenses to extend from inside the paint. And so, again, that adds more opportunity. And then in Stone, when defenses are focusing on Mark Mitchell, now you have an added scorer that can be just as physical. There were days where on this Mizzou team, we were wondering, where's the offense outside of Mark Mitchell? And now I don't think we have to wonder that anymore. 4 players in double figures tonight, and Stone and Pierce being two of those players. I definitely think for Missouri just adds a more offensive component.
Yeah, and we were talking about this after the Illinois game of if teams wanted to, they could almost quadruple team Mark Mitchell and there was no one else that could do anything. Exactly. That's kind of what Auburn's strategy was. It's almost like they didn't watch film from the last 3 games. Yeah. If they only watched Illinois film, it was a little misleading because there was 2 different guys on the court. And look, it opens up then lanes for a guy like Teal Barrett to drive. You know, he shoots 1-3, does a lot of his work inside the arc. He gets the cup. Mark Mitchell now, after those first 15 minutes, all of a sudden they can't triple team him because Pierce is wide open. Samuel Howell, pack attack. That's what Mizzou's able to do. They're attacking with 3, 4, 5 different guys. And this team is fun. Like, it's not the 2022 team of high flying and we're going to get up and down the court and score 100. Not last year's team even that, put up almost 110 against Alabama, but they're gritty. This is a tough team. And I think that we've seen all of a sudden the defensive effort take a level up too. You get Trent Pierce back, a 6'10" guy that can guard 1 through 5. Jaden Stone is everywhere. It seems like this team it's starting to find its identity, and it's really fun to watch.
It is. And all of a sudden, this team feels like there's a lot of depth, right? With those guys coming back. So, like you said, a lot of fun to watch. It was so relieving seeing Mark Mitchell to be able to kick the ball out and someone is scoring beyond the arc outside of Jacob Cruz. It was a relief. I was excited. I'm excited moving forward. And like we said, with all the resume boosters that Mizzou has at home, again, I just really feel like they're in great shape.
I think so as well. Well, Ashley, any last thoughts? Missouri defeats the Auburn Tigers 84-74. We'll be back with another post-game show. They play at LSU on Saturday at 2:30. Do you have any last thoughts from Columbia after the Missouri Tigers beat the Auburn Tigers?
Just a lot of Tigers. Yeah, right? Both Tigers. But just make your free throws. Make your free throws.
All right. Well, for Ashley Wright, I'm Grant Salzman. This was the Mizzou post-game show brought to you by DraftKings on STL Sports Central. And we'll be back with another one after Missouri hopefully brings back another victory over a Tiger team in LSU on Saturday. Thanks for listening. Hope everyone has a great night.